Okay. All right, folks. Hello. We're 1 minute late. Mostly my fault. Looking at a roadmap. Well, tonight we may have more people joining us, but we're looking at Michelob Amber. Michelob ULTRA Amber, however, not Michelob Amber Bock. Some people actually thought I was talking about Amber Bock, and I was like, no, I'm talking about Michelob ULTRA Amber. Well, tonight it's me, Louisiana Beer Reviews, and we have a new guest, the Brew Dude from California.
What's going on, guys? From California, Los Angeles.
Los Angeles County, man. It's been 10 years since I've been there. I've been there a few times, and we're connected. We are connected, you and me, because I can take Interstate 10 to your place. Yep. You can take Interstate 10 to my place.
Exactly.
They connect.
And we just stay on the 10 to connect straight through. That's for sure.
That's right. Only a 2-day drive. So close. And then John is up in Indiana, Zone 1. Zone 1, can you read me, Zone 1?
I am reading you loud and clear, buddy.
Okay. Now, you wanted to show me an ultralight beer that you thought came out before this in 2002?
Yeah. It is a Pabst Extra Light.
Oh.
This has 50 less calories than our regular beer at 70 calories.
Yeah. I think they had some ultralights back in the 70s, but I don't think they were too popular. I've got that Falstaff 96, you know.
Yeah. 96
calories. How many does that have?
70.
Good grief. That's like the Select 55. Well, before we get going, we may have other people jumping on. I don't know. We had exactly nobody interested in Miller 64 last week, so I was going solo.
Well, I ended up getting it. It's just I think the timing was off when it came to the date, but I have like a 12-pack of that.
Oh, poor you. All right, you had to work or something. I think you had to work.
Yeah.
Well,
I tuned in, but I did have to work.
We had one person interested, and one person was on vacation.
Yeah, I was on vacation. I've been right there with you, buddy.
And the rest of the people said, no way. And one guy said, I would have bought it, but I wasn't getting a 12-pack. I said, I can't blame you because I'd have canceled the examination if I'd have had to buy a 12-pack. But who's never, any of you two not ever had this beer before?
I've never had this beer before.
Wow.
I've had it, actually. I have.
I've had it.
But it's been a while.
Yeah, I've had it a few times, and I never really drank much of it. And it's not sold in my town. I had to drive about 20 miles east of here to Rouse's in, let's see, it was Rouse's in Metairie, Louisiana, where I bought it. Or it might have been Rouse's in Kenner. I can't remember which one I went to. Oh, wait. No, it was in Metairie. Yeah, Rouse's. John's never had it, so we'll let John go first. I have a date. It's got a date, guys. Mine was brewed on the July 13th, so we're kind of at the end of the life on mine.
I have a date as well.
Oh.
Mine says freshest taste within 110 days, born date August. So it was brewed August 26, 2016.
Oh yeah,
or it was bottled at least.
I'm still up, but I'm getting close. What?
Mine's September 8th of 16.
Yeah, even better.
Yeah.
Now we had the lime cactus. We don't care for it much. We had the regular Michelob ULTRA. We thought it was okay.
Yeah.
So since you've never had it before, John, I think we can see the appearances. Had a little beige head, almost an off-white head, more than beige.
Mine dissipated very quickly. Got a lot of carbonation bubbles coming up from the bottom. It's really an amber, almost a real light amberish looking color. Really see-through.
Now, John, you're starting to echo a little bit. Can you do the volume down a little bit?
Yeah, there you go. Almost kind of got a watery look to it.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's almost like not even amber. It's like tan or, yeah, it's like watery.
Yeah.
Bubbly. All right, so, well, we can see it all it's going to look the same. If you want a beer that's really, looks like, maybe like watered down iced tea.
Yeah, I would go with that equation very well.
So give us a rundown of the aroma. I think this beer has more aroma than flavor, but I don't want to start coloring your examination.
my nose is kind of stuffed up. So, but I mean, this is not an adjunct beer. Am I correct by saying that?
No, it is an adjunct.
Huh?
It is an adjunct beer. I'll look it up right here.
I don't think this is an adjunct. I may be wrong, but I don't think Michelob beers are adjunct beer.
Wait. Michelob, the original Michelob lager is not adjunct.
Yeah.
But all the rest are. I'll give you an example. Here's the Michelob ULTRA Amber. The ingredients, I'm looking right on the Anheuser-Busch website. Water, here's the ingredients list. Water, rice, barley malt, malt extract, hops, and yeast. 90 calories, right? 90 calories.
Yeah.
4% alcohol.
Well, I didn't think any Michelob was adjunct, but I guess I'm wrong on that. So
95 calories, sorry. Yeah, it's an adjunct rice.
But you can definitely, you get a little bit of the malt in it, not much. You get maybe a smidgen of the hop extract in the back. But mainly what you get is the light, ultra light taste with watered down version of what an ultra light beer is.
Yeah. It must not be too popular, y'all, because a lot of stores don't sell it. Now, any store you go to in America that sells beer is going to have Michelob Ultra, right?
Yeah, Michelob Ultra or the Lime Cactus.
Or the Lime Cactus. That's super popular.
Yeah.
Now, for a little while, they sold that iced tea. Remember that 19th hole?
No, I don't remember that.
We used to sell that in our store. It's called Michelob Ultra 19th hole. It was an iced tea, Michelob Ultra, but I don't think it did too well. Now, we'll go to the Brew Dude's, his smell assessment. I think he had a little technical issue.
Yeah.
He froze up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, the Brew Dude. All right. He'll probably get back on. He may have to click off and come back on. When you're using our phone, it gets a little dicey.
Yeah.
Look at this beautiful can. Oh.
I'm sitting here looking at one right now. I've got one just like it.
Oh, man. I bet that tasted great.
Yeah.
Well, while the Brew Dude's working on his technical issues, and, you know, John, some of those guys used to join us, and I think their main reason they quit was they could not get their technical stuff straight, remember?
Yeah.
They kept freezing up and everything. They got so disgusted.
Yeah, and that happens sometimes.
Yeah, but if you're on a phone, it's going to happen a lot more.
I've done one or two on a phone, and it's always locked up.
Yeah, it's just hell, you know.
Yeah.
The only one I knew that, what do you say, having audio problems, can't hear anything. You may have to reboot. You can type that, if you can type that for him, reboot it.
Yeah.
Reload it. Do you know? Let me give you some sign language. Reboot it. I don't know how to say that sign language. All right.
I will say it to him.
It's a clean nose. I gotta say that it's nothing off on the nose. I'm using an Anheuser-Busch tasting glass, which I bought at the brewery, by the way. But there's not much on the nose. It's mostly just honestly water.
Yeah.
Now, with that Miller 64, you know what I said? I said, I'm not making a joke. I said this to somebody. I'm not making a joke, but I think you could do a taste test with tap water and Michelob Ultra, and people would not be able to tell the difference.
I think you tell a little bit of a difference. There's a little bit of
in the aroma, but the taste.
The aroma, yeah, the taste is different.
The taste, you might have.
Guys, I'm not sure what happened to my audio, but
are you using a phone? Are you using a phone?
No. I'm on a computer. Something happened with my speakers, and I had to reboot. So it's all good now.
Okay, so he's on a computer. Good. Okay. What do you think about the aroma, Brew Dude?
You know, the aroma straight off the bat is, I mean, I smell a little sweetness in the background, but it's like you said, you know, these light beers, it's hard to tell if you can even smell the grain or any type of amber malt. It smells. If I close my eyes, I could not tell if this was just a light beer or an amber beer. It just smells like a typical, you know, type of light beer. Whether, even though this is an ultra, it still has that very similar. I mean, I guess in the backgrounds I can smell a little noble hops, but really spectacular, that I get out of it.
Hey, you said you brought up that PDF file from the Anheuser-Busch website. Could you read what they say about the beer? I think they have a good description of it.
Yeah, so it's the beer category. It's high-end American style light amber lager, introduced in 2006. Features a beautiful, rich, deep amber color with a complex, malty, full-flavored taste that is also low in calories and carbohydrates. And now the ingredients. The finest two-row and dark roasted specialty malts for color, and a blend of imported and premium United States grown noble aroma hops for balance and flavor. It's 3.9% by volume, which I guess they just rounded up to 4%. Michelob ULTRA Amber was the first extension of the Michelob ULTRA line.
Yeah, that's right. Well, before we get to the taste, I got to say this. It does have a nice looking bottle.
You know, you've always got to give it up because Michelob always does have it. They always have a good looking bottle.
Got the M's on there. It's got the little Michelob ribbon embossed on the bottle. It's got a nice looking label. But I guess they have the money to pay for the top notch. You know, they have the money to pay for top notch appearances. A lot of craft beers will taste just great, you know, like outstanding, A+, but their labels will look like they're homemade. But if you don't have the money, you don't have the money, right?
Well, this one looks like it has a nice little, almost like aluminum shiny paper that they use in that amber area. So yeah, they definitely spent some money on this.
Now, if you can remember, Jay, back in the late 80s, early 90s, Michelob was the go-to beer, but it was real expensive. Remember that?
Yeah, and first, before I talk about that, the brew dude's right about the aluminum, that foil paper. That's sharp looking. Yeah. I remember back in the late 70s, all throughout the 80s and the early 90s, if you were stepping up in the beer world, you brought some Michelob over to someone's house or Michelob Light. And everybody, and a lot of them won't admit it today or would wish we wouldn't bring that up.
But that was the beer, the hot beer of the time back then.
Right, and a lot of people would just drink it and say how wonderful it was. And some of those people, even now today, will talk about they hate it.
Yeah.
But they used to drink it to show off in 1984. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because, you know, back then that had a unique bottle that nobody else at that time, and still to this time, never had a bottle like that.
Teardrop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when they got bought out in 2008, they dropped that bottle quick because it was expensive to make.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about that once, how you could we found it comical that a person could say they drank Budweiser for 30 years and loved it, and they realized they hated it. We thought that was like, what?
Yeah. It
took you 30 years to realize you hated something? I would have realized it in about 30 minutes at the most. But
that's the difference between somebody telling somebody that they can't drink that anymore because it's an InBev product to somebody that really don't care. You know?
And we're not saying that just because we are on Anheuser-Busch's payroll.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we obviously work for them. Everybody knows that.
I enjoy myself with Budweiser.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd enjoy Budweiser. So,
oh, yeah.
So
I think sometimes I'm on La Crosse, Wisconsin payroll. It seems like every beer I've reviewed here, the last few ones have been from La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Yeah, at City Brewing.
City Brewing.
They don't pay too much, though, do they?
No.
Not like the big checks we get. Hey, well, before we expose ourselves too much, hey, let's drink the beer since we're millionaires. John, since you haven't had it before, go give us a taste test.
You know, up front and forward, you get the H2O in it. You get that far above anything else. But I also think it's like the brew dude or blue said.
The brew dude, yeah.
You about got to close your eyes and really imagine this beer, because if you drink it with your eyes open, all you're getting is water. But if you really close your eyes and sit back and think about it, you can taste a few of the notes in this beer, but you really got to think hard on it, because, like I said, up front foremost, you definitely get the water, the small hints of amber, the malts, and maybe the hop extract. But you really got to be in your mindset to get that.
Yeah. What do you think? You rather us call you by your real name or the brew dude?
Hey, you know what? It doesn't matter. Whatever's easier. Jose is fine.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted your name out there.
It's definitely carbonated. I mean, these bubbles have not stopped going from the bottom to the top. The first taste, your mouth immediately gets that kind of almost like if you're at carbonation, so it kind of bites a little bit. It's water up to about maybe 75% of when the beer is done inside here in your palate. Then I kind of get just a little bit of malt, like a little sweetness, and a tad bit on the back end, like if my glass was sitting next to a fire and it got some of the residual smoke in there. I'm talking about very minute amount of roast, just like a tiny bit. Actually get a little bit of, I don't even want to call it an off flavor, but you know, some fennel flavors, like a slight bit of, I don't even know if I want to say banana or something, just like at the end, just a bit.
Banana.
That's a pretty good description.
I agree.
It can be an off flavor that I'm probably getting. It did warm up a bit. Get those random, taste notes.
Now that you mention it, I do pick up that a little bit, but it's so faint. There's such a faint note of grain, like the barley malt, the rice, the boiled rice, a little sourness, like a little bit. Hoppiness, forget that. If this beer is, if the IBU on this beer must be a 1. Obviously, it's high. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a hop attack, this is like the opposite of everything that is part of the hop appreciation. I
gotta say though that it is very, very that Miller 64 that was going on.
That thing there, I was depressed. I would get depressed when I would drink it. I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is sad. I mean, really, I even said it on my video. Join us in a depressing exploration of sadness. And it was. I mean, that thing was ridiculous. I mean, it didn't taste bad. It just tasted like my father would say. My father will, if we eat food and it's bland, he'll say, this tastes like inert. I said, what do you mean inert? Like he said, like it's inert. It's almost like it doesn't exist.
Exactly. It was almost pointless at one point. I was like, I'm expecting at least a little bit of beer flavor. I knew what I was getting myself into, but when you drank it and it was just, beer just never came. It was a little disappointing, sad.
And I was thinking about reviewing Select 55 from Budweiser, but I never could bring myself to set up an examination for that.
I'll do it if you want to do it sometime.
Yeah, we might do it. Maybe on one of those Mondays.
Yeah.
Dreary Mondays.
Yeah.
We might do that just to see how much depression and sadness we can bring back into this world. Because it will do it. Plus, you had to pay for it. But maybe Anheuser-Busch is listening to this, and they'll send us a few cases. I haven't gotten a call from Carlos Brito today. He's the guy that runs the company. But we'll see if he calls me. Anyway, yeah, it finishes crisp and refreshing. It's easy going, but so I was drinking water before we started this review. with this examination. I drank a lot of water this afternoon, and that was refreshing and easygoing too, but it didn't cost nearly what this cost. This cost me $6.99 for the 6-pack. Oh, I remember now where I bought it. I didn't buy it at Rouse's because it was $7.99. I bought it at Dorgnac's. It was $6.99 at Dorgnac's. Let me plug Dorgnac's. Go to Dorgnac's because they have a good beer selection. All right. Would I buy it again? I don't think so. Unless I knew somebody that was a friend that loved it, and I'd buy it for like a present. But otherwise, I wouldn't buy it for myself. No way. What about you, John and Jose?
Would I buy this again? This is probably going to be one. I'm not going to say I'm not going to buy it again. If an occasion come up where I was somewhere and I wanted to take some beer, but I didn't really want to get a good buzz, I just wanted a beer, I would probably take this because, honestly, this, it's watered down. It's low ABV. Yeah, I'd probably, if I was at the right place at the right time, I was going someplace, this would probably be a one that I would take. So, yeah, would I buy it again? Under special circumstances, yes, I would. For the price, it's $6.99 at Kroger. The only place I can find it. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm not going to bad night this. It's not bad. It's watery. But you get what you get. You know what you're getting into.
So you would buy it. You would buy it depending on the circumstance. You know, it does have a fleeting little roasted caramel flavor. You know, just fleeting. It's there.
Yeah.
I can't honestly. And you saying, oh, because now you know Anheuser-Busch is watching this. Well, no, but honestly, it does have flavor. It just doesn't have much flavor. Okay.
No.
I can't say too much good about it, but I would say a person should buy the Michelob Amber Bock instead of this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're getting more calories, but you're getting more alcohol. You're getting way more flavor, and it's not going to make you gain weight. Just skip the buffet for one day.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, and you can make up for the calorie differential. So it's like, no way. I'm going to get Michelob Amber 10 out of 10 times, Amber Bock 10 out of 10 times over this. But anyway, I don't want to start ripping and going crazy and ranting and raving with Ronald. The Brew Dude, you have the floor. I'm going to get my next beer.
So, yeah, I mean, would I buy this again? Well, my real question, a chance, it only came in a 12-pack for me, and that 12-pack was $9.99. This is my first one that popped out of that. So how long it would take me to get through those? But if I do get through them, like John said, it's not a bad beer.
No.
It has its place. It has its position. Would I buy it if I did have a little get together, and would it be one of my light beers towards my high ABV beers and high gravity beers? Yeah, I'd probably put it in the rotation. Some guests. Would I personally get them? For me, probably not. But it'd be in my rotation for sure.
Hey.
And you said it right, Ronald. As it warmed up, I'm able to get a little bit more of those caramel notes, the little roasted qualities as it warms up.
Yeah. And I got to say this also. It is designed to be what it is. It is designed to be an ultra light, above premium light beer. And I think for an ultra light amber light beer, it is nailing it. Because some people love this kind of stuff, man. So I cannot get up here. It's like if I loved tennis and I didn't like football, and I went to a football game and said, it's so boring. It's nothing like tennis. Well, hell, you already said you didn't like football, so why are you complaining? And why are you at the game? Right? So if you're into ultralight beers, this could be the greatest thing in the world, honestly.
But you know, you got to be realistic when you're going into an examination or a review of what we're doing here. You can't look at this beer as any more than what it is. You got to judge this beer on what it is. It's an ultra light beer. It's an amber. It's 4%, and that's what you got to look at. It's not no great big hoppy beer. It's no great big malty beer. It's not going to take, one beer and you're done. You got to look at these beers, and I wish other people do it too. You got to look at these beers what they are. It's not that we're out here giving these beers an A+. We're not doing that. What we're doing is we're reviewing and examining these beers for what they are.
Yeah.
It's an ultra beer. And that's what you got to look at and examine this beer as, an ultra beer, not some kind of a Bourbon County or Western 6. It's not that. It's what it is and what it is. That's why you got to pay homage to it, look at it, and examine it.
I'm glad you said that.
The only really thing that we can compare it against or anything is another ultralight beer.
Exactly.
And that's really it. We can't say, oh, this stout's better than this. Well, I mean, it like Ron said, it's like saying I don't like tennis, I like basketball. Two completely different sports.
Yeah.
Two completely different qualities, two completely different styles.
And this is more of a, if you like golf, this would be a go-to beer to golf with.
Hey.
Definitely. I do golf myself, so.
Oh, you do that?
A lot of light beers for sure.
Golf?
Yeah, I do. I used to play a lot of softball, soccer. I said, I need to still be out on the grass somehow, and I took up golf about 3 years ago, and I love it, man. Drinking beer out on the grass, walking around with your buddies, come on.
Yeah, and I think Los Angeles County has some really nice public golf courses, probably.
Oh, yeah. If you go down the 10, but the opposite way from where you're at, Ron, if you go down 10 East, you're that way, but just not as far, you'll find Palm Springs, Desert Hot Springs, Palm Desert. You're talking about 400 golf courses within, 10-mile radius.
Holy crap.
Golly. Now, in New Orleans has some really nice, well, of course, private, but they have some nice city-owned golf courses. All right. Well, I don't know if there's a category for ultra-light beers at the Great American Beer Festival and the World Beer Cup, but I think that Michelob Ultra could win a gold medal in that category if they had such a category. Don't you think?
Yeah. If I was to take the regular Michelob Ultra or the Michelob Ultra Amber, I would take the Amber over.
More flavor?
Well, yeah, for what it's got. Yeah, for what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it's got that just a little bit more. Not a big bite. Yeah. Got just a little bit more.
Can you tell what I'm drinking right now? And then I'm
PBR.
Yeah, the artistic can, and I made a video yesterday for the wins a gold medal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I saw that. Yeah.
And
I'm drinking.
I talked for 17 minutes. I wanted to know what you're drinking. Yeah.
It's a newer brewery right here. Opened up 2013 in Torrance. It's called The Dudes Brewing.
Mm.
I'm not affiliated. I only drink it. It's an American Pale Ale. Surf Rider.
APA.
The thing about this beer is that anytime this beer is bought, a fraction of it goes to help clean the oceans and the surf and the sand and everything.
Well, that's a nice thing. I hate litter and I hate dirt. You know what I mean? Like filth, man. Hey, I walk around my neighborhood and pick up all the litter. I do that. Actually, I do that. Anyway, next week we have an interesting beer that you may or may not be able to get. We get it here. It's very common here. The brewery was destroyed essentially 11 years ago. I went to the brewery a month before it was destroyed. It's Dixie beer. It was introduced in 1907. Interesting thing about Dixie beer, it's made in the United States, and it's controlled by Paul Honor. If you get on the Paul Honor USA website, they have Dixie beer as one of their brands. Secondly, it's produced in Europe as well. And I noticed this about 12 years ago when I was looking at a European website. There's Dixie beer that it's sold in Europe and it's made in Europe, but it's the same company, okay? It just somehow some contractor brews it in Europe where it apparently has some kind of following, and it's funny that it's a little family-owned New Orleans beer, and it's brewed in the U.S. and over in Europe under contract. So I don't know if you can get it, but it'd be interesting to look at. John never had the Dixie Black and Voodoo. I don't even think we're going to examine that one because I don't think anybody.
The only thing we can get here is just regular Dixie.
Regular Dixie. It's been around for over 100 years.
I'll look for it. See if I can find it somewhere.
Yeah, the Paulaner USA website might have a locator tool, in fact. Now, in 2 weeks, we're going to do a second examination of a video of a beer. I had to delete the video because it was so out of control. That's the video. That's the video when Black Metal Troy joined us. And that's Icehouse Edge. So if you're into really strong beer, yeah, that's one for you. Icehouse Edge.
So we can consider that a malt liquor, correct?
Some malt liquor.
Oh yes.
I just did an old OE. Man, that stuff is
the West Coast. The West Coast. The 7.5%, which I've never had. Then
what did you think about my VSL video?
I liked it. Y'all did it down in Florida, and I said, oh man, they got the old can, because in the last few weeks, maybe not even a month. It's not even been a month. They're coming out with all new cans and labels, and I got the new Schlitz original malt liquor label. You saw that, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't see my video and you didn't see my photos I put on Zone 1? You didn't see where I was going with that?
Maybe I did see it and I just didn't know where he was going with it at.
Yeah, I sent you a text and I said, I sent you a text that said I got the new bull, but you apparently didn't know what I meant, the new bull.
No, I saw it. About 45. But hey, I remember, I knew when you called, I was dead to the world. I was asleep and it was out.
Okay, what I was trying to tell you is I got the new Schlitz 40-ounce bull label, and I made a special video about it, and people were like, "Dang," and they loved it. But okay, in 3 weeks, you can get y'all can get Schlitz. No, wait, you can't.
No, we can't. We've not been able to get Schlitz right here for about 20 years.
That's sickening. We're gonna in 3 weeks we have. You said you wanted to look at Miller Fortune one last time before it hits the road, right?
I think it's something I'll look at before it loses.
And then on the 15th of November, I think that's a Monday, we can look at that Select 55, just to make sure we get really sad and depressed. And then on November 23rd, we got Budweiser Black Crown. We may as well look at that before it's gone.
It's probably going to be gone here for long.
Might be gone before we can look at it. Okay, well, and then you said you wanted to look at some Clamato Micheladas.
Yeah, we can do that.
I enjoy myself some Clamato Micheladas, man. Those are some good stuff.
Oh, Jose, we caught so much flack over that. About 2 years ago, I said, y'all want to look at Budweiser Clamato? And then my group was like, no,
what?
That's terrible.
Stuff, man. I just did a video on that. I drink that religiously, man, like legitimately, probably every weekend.
Honestly, I mean, I've had it. I'm not a fan. I'll do it with you. I'd be more than happy to do it with you. But to me, I thought the Tecate was better.
Oh, yeah, that Tecate Michelada.
Yeah.
Micheladas, yeah. They have
Michelada.
The thing about it is if you like tomato juice and beer and just beer on its own and tomatoes on its own, then you more than likely will enjoy it.
Yeah.
If you have a problem with like just some cases of that saltiness in a beer, then because that's what it is. It's ultimately tomato juice, beer, and salt and saltiness.
I think a lot of people has problem. This might be goofy. It might be with the texture of the tomato juice.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But if you accept, like, I do these beer mashups, and I mix beers with whatever, and if you really look at it as you accept the tomato juice as it is, it's going to be thick, and you accept the beer that it's completely opposite realm because it's bitterness to complete salt. Flat to salty, and you combine them, and you just kind of accept that. It makes it easier.
Yeah.
What I usually do is I throw rocks on. I throw ice, right? Throw ice in a glass.
Yeah.
Squeeze some limes in there. Throw the whole lime in there to get that zest flavor. A little. You can even pop a little bit of hot sauce in there. I know you do a lot of Louisiana sauce. Yeah. Ron, I know you were dying on that. I forgot what sauce that you had, but
Dave's Insanity.
Insanity. Yeah. It was killing you. And you throw a little drops in there, and you pour the beer, and you probably even put a little salt rim. You can even look at it as a Bloody Mary, but with beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and other people have problems with the clam broth. They don't like clams and chunks of clam in their beer. Well, hey, we're gonna stop now because we don't want to run too long. But there's a whole line of Micheladas, and like you said, it's pronounced Micheladas.
Micheladas.
Micheladas. Okay, that we can get around here. The Modelo, the Tecate, the Budweiser. And there's a bunch of different Budweiser and Bud Light Micheladas. Anyway, well, that's for another time. But the last thing I'm going to say was comical because some people said, "Oh, that's gross." And I asked them, "Have you ever had it?" "Oh, no."
Yeah.
I said, how do you know it's gross? You never even had it. And they're like, "I don't want to drink that. I'm going to go drink a Bloody Mary." I went, "All right." Anyway, I'm going to go drink a Bloody Mary and eat some clam chowder. Okay. But anyway, all right. Thank you, John and Jose, for joining us. Me, and us, the audience. And so next week we'll be back. We hope, God willing. Thanks, folks.
So long, everybody.
Cheers.
Salute.
And this Pabst, salute. And the Pabst Blue Ribbon has more flavor. I'll give it a gold medal.
So what are we looking